Hey guys, Tommy Gans here. Well, I want to talk to you today about a subject that, well, it's kind of an emotional subject, but I felt compelled to talk to you about it today because we just get so many people emailing us and, calling us and talking to us personally about just what our feelings are regarding, playing community baseball, like in the Little League system or Cal Ripken system versus playing, true travel baseball for an academy or, a private club that goes around in the travel circuit. So I thought it was be a great topic to talk about, and I think I'm a kind of a unique person to give you my ideas behind it because I'm coming to you from both sides. I'm a father of 3 sons that have all grown up playing baseball. I spent probably 15, 16 years of my coaching in the Little League system in the community recreational ball at all levels. My wife and I were league presidents and commissioners and things like that, so we really were entrenched in our community baseball programs. And most of you know, of course, I own and operate my own baseball academy, so we also run travel baseball teams. And all 3 of my boys have done both, have played community ball and travel baseball. So I'm going to be able to shed some light, I think, on both sides of the coin and, give you a little bit of, the pros and cons from both sides. First and foremost, we hear, I think, from most people that their biggest concern with their children is that they feel that at younger ages it's very important that their kids get a chance to play, community or rec ball and, bond with kids from the neighborhood or the school system that they're in. And I want to tell you, I wholeheartedly agree with that. It's very important that, especially at the younger ages, it's 6 to 10 years old, kids do experience, recreational or town ball, playing with kids that they go to school with, kids from the neighborhood. I think that is very important for a child and a player's development. It doesn't mean he can't do both. What I'm saying is I just feel that during those years, if you are going to play some travel baseball, and we have teams as young as 10 years old. So again, I'm a proponent. I'll talk to you in a second about the positives that come with playing travel baseball. But if you are going to play travel baseball at those young ages, at 9, 10, 11 years old, I still think it's a good idea to try to somehow participate in a community recreational ball, town ball system if you can. And most of the times you can, especially at those young ages. Be very weary of travel baseball programs that have very, very extensive travel agendas for kids that are 9, 10, 11 years old. I'd be very leery of programs that are playing 40, 50, 60 games in the summer for a 9, 10-year-old. That's a lot of games. So if you're going to seek travel ball at that young age, I think you should seek out a program that maybe travels and plays 20, 25 games, and you can still play a 20, 25 game schedule in town ball and still play 40, 50 baseball games, which is a lot for a 10-year-old, but still kind of keep involved in the community while you're experiencing the travel baseball experience. So again, I just want to answer those concerns. I think it is very, very important for the youngsters, especially those in that age group, to experience recreational baseball. I do want to tell you though that the biggest question we get asked is, well, when is it right? When do you really make the decision to pull the plug on your community when it comes to the rec programs? And I would just tell you this. I would tell you that you don't necessarily need travel baseball if you're getting everything that you need and your child needs out of your community program. You can just look at the Little League World Series on TV and you can see that there are fine baseball and softball programs in the communities around the country. Many communities have very knowledgeable coaches, have great administrative people that run the programs, and they're just incredible programs. They're run far better than most travel programs that I've seen out there. So if you're getting everything that you need out of your community programs and your child is growing, he's prospering, and he's growing as a player, and he's getting better every year, and you got great coaching, well, I don't think that there's a need to necessarily run out and seek out travel baseball unless you're specifically just looking for that travel experience to add to that child's growing experiences. But what I would caution you though is and I don't care who you hear talking this subject, I'm going to give you the truth, and that is that high school and collegiate baseball has become just extremely competitive today, and it's just because kids are starting these sports on all. It's not just baseball, but all their sports. They're starting at such a younger age, and now you have the influence of the internet, and there's just so many learning facilities out there and training facilities like ours. Kids are just getting better at such early ages that it's just naturally the progression is to make your high school and your collegiate programs that much more competitive. So What I want to caution you though is what we find in so many communities in our area is that there's a lot of towns that don't put a lot of time and resources and money into their youth sports programs. In fact, in today's economic climate, sometimes it's the sports programs that really get cut first when things get tight. So what we find is, at least in our area, that a lot of towns, the youth programs, the sports programs are really deteriorating. So what I would caution you to look for is that if you feel that your player is just not growing, not getting better, if he's not a better baseball player after each and every season, then it might be time for you to seek other venues, and that would of course be travel baseball. Go to an academy, an academy like ours that has travel programs where your kid can get winter training and indoor training in specific in areas, whether it be pitching or hitting or fielding, and then carry that out throughout the the baseball season. So travel baseball, it's very competitive as well, but it just offers a lot of great learning opportunities because most of the programs are run by professionals. I will tell you, there's a lot of people that run out there and start travel clubs that don't have as much or experience as the guys coaching in town ball. So make sure that when you do seek out a travel program, ask around, do your research, make sure that you're going into a facility or a program that is coached by knowledgeable staff that has a great reputation in the community, and just make sure you're putting your child in good hands. But again, the timing, I would just say that you have to listen, your son is going to know better than anybody. Your son is going to have a real good, finger on the pulse, if you will, as to what's going on with his baseball, whether he's getting better, he's learning, he's got good relationships with the players and the coaches. But I think you as a parent are in a good position to know if your child is getting better each and every year. So if he loves baseball and he has a passion for the game, and you see he's got that fire in his belly to get better, and you're in that stagnant place, you're not getting better, then maybe travel ball is a great place to look. Last but not least, I just want to caution you about one thing. If you're going to leave your town ball to try to just kind of get out of the politics of baseball, I do want to caution you, guys, there's politics everywhere. The politics of Little League Baseball, unfortunately, has been around forever. You just can't get away from the dad that's coaching just so his kid can play second base. But as I said before, you got dads that run out and start travel programs for the same reasons. So you have that on both sides of the fence. So kind of running away from the politics, I'd say stay in there a fight if you can, if that's really all that's bothering you. To me, the decisions really come by whether your son is getting coached by knowledgeable staff, people that are taking the time to learn and get better so they can pass on that knowledge to your son, to your daughter. So I would say just put politics aside and just make sure that you're putting your son in a position where he's getting better each and every year. If you're not finding that in your town ball programs, then I would say it's a very good idea to go out and look for travel programs, do your research. There are a lot of great individuals, a lot of great clubs out there that can really help and just become a great influence in your child's baseball career. And my last thought is along this lines of travel baseball, just like I gave you all the positives with your recreational programs, I will tell you that travel baseball, my kids have built friends around the world. No matter where they go and play baseball in the country, they seem to know people there, especially with today's technology, with the Facebook and all the internet. They can stay in touch with people they meet, and through the travel baseball circuits, your kids will really develop just experiences and friendships and relationships that will really last a lifetime. So it really has, I just think it's invaluable, especially as your kid gets a little older, he gets 12, 13, 14, gets a little bit more, has more social skills, if you will. The experience of travel baseball are really rewarding, and for you as a family as well. So my wife and I have such great memories, of just, being with my kids and being, in the travel circuit and spending the time on the road with them. They're just memories that really last for the rest of your life. So they both, I think, have important aspects that they bring to your child's development. I'd say, just first and foremost, do what's best for your son. I mean, make sure that you put him in a position where he can get better and grow and learn and become a better player each and every year. If you do that, keep that in mind, I think the decisions will kind of, come natural and they'll be pretty easy for you. So until next time.